now, coming to you live from atop the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's the one, the only, PoGo.
It's PoGo! PoGo! It's PoGo! PoGo! Pokemon Underground Champions League, oh yeah! PoGo! PoGo.
Welcome to another episode of the PoClPodcast. I am your host, Trainer Thatch, here today with my wonderful co-host. We've got the bubbly, as always, Fluffiest Whimsicott.
Hi.
And we've got the knowledgeable, as always, Lynian.
Why can't I be bubbly? I'm bubbly.
You are bubbly, but I already used it.
Fair.
All right, but welcome to the PoClPodcast. PuCL, of course, standing for the Pokemon Underground Champions League, a nonsensical name we came up with in 2007. Where we talk everything Pokemon, from the trading card game to the video game to everything in between. And as always, we're here to just bring you another show. But yeah, I don't know what to talk to you guys about other than what have you guys been up to lately? I've got things because this has been a week for my fandoms, but that's for different reasons.
Things heating up in the Power Rangers discourse.
Actually, yes. I
was guessing.
Yeah, actually, no. Actually, something happened, I think.
Yeah. No, actually, so like, if you're a Power Rangers fan, they put out their 30th anniversary special this week, because it is the 30th anniversary of Power Rangers this year. And they brought back a lot of people that have just not been on the show since they originally left.
Oh.
Like, the big one is they brought back David Yost, who played the original Blue Ranger, Billy.
Oh.
They brought him back. He was there. They also brought back Walter Jones, who is the original Black Ranger, Zach. These two haven't actually been anything since they left the show.
For good reasons, especially one of them, but yes.
Yes. The special was like just fan service. It was like pure fan service.
Well, I'm glad they felt that the ambient was like nice enough to them that they would come back.
Well, yeah. So what happened was, I mean, a lot of things have changed in like the past 30 years, right?
Yes.
Yes, time works that way.
Yeah, a lot of things have changed in 30 years, mostly production companies. Power Rangers is no longer like produced by Haim Saban anymore.
Yes.
Who's a big driver for that, for a lot of the issues they faced. It's now produced by Hasbro.
Yeah, which has a whole lot of bucket of issues, but at least different
I've never
issues.
had a problem with Hasbro.
Yeah, right. They're owned by Hasbro.
Hi, I play D&D and Magic.
Yeah, right. So Hasbro owns Power Rangers, but they've done like a good job like treating the cast like humans, which is really good.
When working with Hasbro is an upgrade, that's a bad sign.
Welcome to Power Rangers. To be fair, it used to be owned by Disney, and now it's owned by Hasbro. It's a whole wonky thing. But either way, they did like really good. It was a lot of fan service. They like set up the next season that's going to be dropping this fall, or at least I believe that. Based on what happened. That and like there's both casts were there in New Zealand filming at the same time.
Oh,
so
cute.
It makes me feel like that there was some overlap intentionally. So that you can get some like of the original OG guys in the new season that's coming out.
And stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, because the new season's only supposed to be like 10 episodes or something.
Okay.
But it's going to also have like its own landmark stuff. Like it's got the first female Red Ranger.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's got a whole bunch of cool stuff.
Are they shooting their own tokusatsu footage now? Or is it still getting swiped? Well, not swiped. It's totally legal. And
so in the most recent seasons, because Hasbro took over not too long ago, ever since Hasbro took over, they've been filming more and more original footage. Except for like the big mech battles. I think that all of the mech battles they just straight up take from tokusatsu. But like outside of the mech battles, they've been doing so much more original stuff. And actually this upcoming season, they aren't basing it on any previous Super Sentai. They like made their own suits.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're okay, but they made their own.
It's nice.
So just, it's I don't know, like in that fandom, really cool. Like this is a Pokemon podcast, but I like that I got to nerd out about Power Rangers for 3 minutes.
I like hearing people talk about stuff that they're passionate about. It's why we're here.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it yet, but like they were very true to the lore, like a surprising amount true to the lore.
Oh,
like they went out of their way to make references.
Okay.
to things in the lore. Because Billy was on Earth, right? Because that's the whole point of what they were doing. But they reference how he was taking a break from being on Aquitar, which is another planet. Power Rangers is a space odyssey, guys.
Ooh.
And because they inferred that he was married to this Equation that ended up saving his life back in Power Rangers Z, whole thing.
Nice.
Just that little nod that nobody knew except for me and other hardcore fans. They made nods to that.
That's cute.
Yeah, they were really good about it. I was really, really surprised with how well they handled the lore. They even were consistent with the Z Wave and Zordon dying. And Rita turning good because if you've seen the trailers, they fight Robo Rita.
What?
Oh.
You're telling me someone with the name Rita Repulsa got a redemption arc, but Jesse and James were denied.
Yes.
Jesse and James didn't need one.
No, they didn't need one. They're
true.
good people.
Yeah.
They were the only... Ash's mom missed the finale. All of his companions, only Dawn showed up.
Exactly.
Jesse and James had a front row seat.
Yeah, exactly. Jesse and James, Dawn are the only ones that showed up. And...
I mean,
Ash did the thing. Actually, have you guys seen some of at least clips or anything from the new anime?
No,
but I've heard good things.
I want to bank at least 3 episodes or so before I go in.
There are 3 now.
Okay, maybe I'll watch it this weekend then.
I haven't watched it. I've just been following the the social media version, and it's actually really cool. It's semi-confirmed this is in the same universe, so that makes me happy. Because we still have Nurse Joyce.
Okay.
Nurse Joyce still exists. But I don't know. It's just shot really well. And the story's actually coming together really well. I saw a really cool theory, which would have fit much better into last episode. But Liko has that pendant they've been hyping up. And somebody took the pictures of Terapagos and Ogerpon.
Oh.
And they took the crystal from Ogerpon's mask. And they put it right underneath Terapagos' jewel. And it makes the exact pendant that Liko wears.
I love that.
It makes me so upset that we're not getting this at the same time as Japan, because they're getting things they're getting hype for the DLC that we're just not really getting.
I see.
And I really want that right now. I need that in my life.
Well, what can you do?
It's what I miss from the anime the most. Some of my fondest memories from the anime are just seeing things that didn't exist yet and then came into fruition later. Looking at the random Kecleon episode in Johto and the the numerous times that they just had Gen 4 Pokemon during the Gen 3 anime.
What if they just slowed the release? Never mind. That'll never happen.
No, I think at best we get this anime in September, at best.
And then it'll be released all in blocks, so it'll be
be in blocks. Yeah, you know what I found out? Canada's not getting that treatment. They just get it on Cartoon Network, and it's dubbed. So Canada's ahead of us right now. It's ridiculous.
Well, time to move to Canada for no other reason, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's
absolutely
great.
No other reason.
Yeah, it's insane. I learned that this week, and it's just slightly upsetting. Or maybe that was last week. I don't know. One week I was on Twitter, and somebody had a clip of the final battle between Ash and Leon in the tournament, and they said they did it right, and I watched it because they played the the original, well, not the original, but they played the theme song, the I Want to Be a Very Best theme song, in behind Pikachu, landing the final blow. But it's not the original version. It's the one from X and Y where they redid it.
Okay.
Well, it was a good remix.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even that much different, to be fair. I could barely tell the difference, right? So I sat there because somebody was complaining about how it wasn't, and I was just I don't know. The fact that they did it in general is kind of amazing.
As a concept.
The bar is very low for them, guys. Let them step over it. Let's applaud them when they step over the bar.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was very fun and interesting. But yeah, it's been a good week. I'm sorry, I've talked over all of you and all of your amazing things that probably happened.
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing has happened.
I have something, but it's very briefly told.
Oh yeah?
There are shinies everywhere. I don't know what happened. Okay, so I get pretty much the same outbreaks every day because I save pretty much in the same spots every day. And I keep doing the Rufflet and the Swablu ones, never get a shiny. maybe I've done the like 3 times over the past week. Nothing. And then I walk away from the outbreak, and one night I got 3 shinies within 20 minutes, just walking around.
What were they?
So it was, this one I'm proud of. I recognized the shiny Slowpoke at night. Which...
Not easy, actually.
No, not at all.
It's not easy during the day either.
No. And it wasn't even in a group. Like, I don't know how I did that. The other 2 were like super easy because they were in a group and they were like a Gumi and a Gibble. So easy. And then 2 days later, I turn on the game again. I do the outbreaks, no shinies. I walk off, and within 9 minutes, I found 3 shinies again.
Oh, what?
And then, like, I can spend 2 hours walking around, no shinies, and then like 3 pop up in rapid succession. I don't know if there's like something to the RNG or if it's just a big coincidence, but it was fun. I mean,
I think it's just real weird rolls, but I mean, we take those.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You're very lucky.
Especially since the last one was an Oinkolon, and I really wanted a shiny Oinkolon. It's pink. I like it.
Yeah, the only thing I've really been doing is I've started playing Pokemon Infinite Fusion, just kind of to see how that is. And word of warning, it's actually surprisingly good. It's kind of fun. The mechanics are bizarrely well thought out. The only issue, if you choose the custom starter option, beware, it randomizes the gym types and doesn't tell you. I know, because Brock was Steel, which is already way harder, and then he had a Steel Fairy Ace. Half of it was Steelix.
Oh no.
It doesn't matter that the other half was Mime Jr. Turns out that Steel Fairy with over 100 defense at level 11 is a little rough.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. Yeah. Well, I think this is a good place to go ahead, though. And we're going to kick it on over to the news. Let's cue that epic music.
Live from the Lavender Town Radio Tower. This just in.
Welcome to the news. In the news, the Gen 5 Sitting Cuties came out on Pokemon Center in the US.
Yes.
I wasn't aware that they were coming out. So in Dayton, Ohio, where I live, we have a store.
There's a store that has them that sells Japanese plushes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we have it's specifically Pokemon, by the way. It's called Original 151. It's a Pokemon store. I don't mind going there occasionally because you can get some stuff that's imported from Japan, and that's the reason to go.
But they also carry Pokemon Center merch.
They also carry Pokemon Center merch with like a pretty decent markup. Unless you need it right then and now, my recommendation is always just go to PokemonCenter.com and just buy it. It'll be in here in 2 days because they actually distribute out of Columbus, Ohio.
Oh,
and, yeah. So it'll be here in 2 days anyway. They like share facilities with Amazon and they just ship it out within like 2 days.
Must be nice.
I mean, it is pretty nice. I'm not going to lie to you. But that is like my overall, like, this is what you should do. But if you want to go there, like, I've been able to buy the Gen 5 Sitting Cutie plushes for like the past 2 months because we've been importing them from Japan over there. I actually took Seth over there when he was here and he like bought some before they were out.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. But yeah, you can absolutely, actually go ahead and buy those on Pokemon Center now. They're as good as you think they are. I don't know what to tell you otherwise. They're
the only way I'm ever going to get specific Pokemon merch. No one's going to make a Behem plushie, you know? Like,
well, I think that's kind of the point, right? Like, that's the point of Sitting Cuties, is that nobody's going to do it. I'm curious if when we get to Gen 6, if they're going to do Megas.
Ooh.
I'm curious.
I just want to know what stack attack is going to be. If it's going to be sitting on its back. It's one of those how does a dog wear pants things.
Yes.
I just hope it's like compressed down completely. I just hope they're doing it in like the totally compressed one.
Well, if you look at my favorite sitting cutie that makes no sense is Drapion, because it's literally just a Drapion plush. It's not sitting. Like, there's just no way to make that happen.
Honestly, the way I would do a Stakataka would be like the tower sitting on the ground and the 4 legs just poking out at the corners.
Well, I mean, you know that it can like compact down, right?
Yeah. But then you're like missing sort of part of it in a way, and I think it would be a lot cuter if it had just its legs like splayed around like a little kid sitting down.
I'm kind of into that, but we should move on.
So the Pokemon Twitter account has been hooked on turtles because of the new Pokemon reveal from the anime, which is probably just a Terapagos form, maybe a baby.
Yeah, I like turtles.
Fun fact. I like turtles. Fun fact, Shuckle is a turtle in the eyes of the Twitter account.
Yes. I mean, it looks like one.
If it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably a water type, so sure.
None of this is true about Shuckle. I'm very confused.
It's a butchered expression. The ESL speaker got it, Thatch, so I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, okay. All right, well... moving on.
Okay, so Scarlet and Violet news. The game updated to version 1.3, which has several bug fixes.
And several
some of
bugs.
them very important. Yes, and several bugs. Now, one of the bug fixes was a pretty significant one, because if you were playing when the Walking Wake and Iron Leaves raids came out and you didn't get the update and you kept playing, you could have theoretically, and some people did, caught a bad egg from the raid, which then was stuck in your game and risked like glitching out stuff, and you couldn't get rid of it, and it was bad. So they are going to fix that. They have fixed that. And now the raids are going to be running again from May 1st for a couple of weeks, so that the people who missed out because of that glitch now can get their Walking Wake and Iron Leaves.
It's a good time.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I recommend.
It's good to run these multiple times. We all assume that these Pokemon are going to be available in the DLC, but like currently this is the only way to get them. So if you missed it for whatever reason, here's your chance.
I like this better than mystery gifts. I like this so much better than mystery gifts.
They both have their place. This is the correct way to do this release.
Like this is. I like that if they released mythicals like this, I think it would have been a much cooler way to do it than just being like, this is Zarude. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
spoilers for the topic.
Yeah. Okay, he is trash though.
Yes.
All right, where are we at? I think it's back to Lynian. I gave him
so Smogon quickbanned Shedtail and released Cyclizar from Ubers, because it turns out that it really doesn't matter if your Cyclizar or Earthworm sub on a Switch is horrific, whether the Pokemon is really fast or really slow.
Yeah.
It also doesn't help that we had like mediocre speed we didn't have any mediocre speed Pokemon with that ability.
Yes, this is true.
Because really slow pivot is really good. Really fast pivot is really good. Mediocre speed pivot with a cushion is like kind of hard to use correctly.
Yeah. In Pokemon Go news, Swinub Community Day Classic is coming up on the 29th of April. I think they announced the Community Day the day after Tears of the Kingdom comes out, so... Oh, no, they didn't. Actually, you're gonna mention that, Lynian. I'll let you do that.
Yeah. I was like, you stealing my thing?
Yeah.
Sustainability Week also added Shaman research, along with a free box with an incubator and 2 Poffin as an apology for having the wrong info on their infographic until the 26th. I'm going to imagine that until the 26th is the how long you have to collect the box, and not how long the information was incorrect, given that that is 4 days from recording. Regidrago returns to Elite Raid. It's still incorrect, and they're just not going to fix it for 4 days. Regidrago returns to Elite Raids May 13th. So if you want Regidrago, he's coming, but only to Elite Raids.
I guess.
Yeah.
In TCG news, which is also actually PUCL news, there's a PUCL TCG tournament coming up, and the signups are live through Saturday. So if you're interested, come on, come all.
I signed up.
I imagined that.
I signed up for both this and also PFTT, and I expect to do better in one than the other.
Fair enough. You've been training very hard for one of them.
For one of them and not the other. Okay, to be fair, I have been playing a lot more VGC recently, but just in the background.
Yeah.
It's because VGC is like a good time still. I know it's really bad, but like I've really like fallen down the Wo Chien train.
No.
Whoa, Chien.
It's not good, but it's fun because like on low ladder, people don't know how to handle it because they're like prepping for all the big stuff. And then you just like walk in with like stall team.
Exactly. And there's a giant slug on the screen and it just doesn't die ever.
Yeah, and you pair it with Glamora, so like you just get poison out on the field too.
That's evil.
And then like people, they just can't kill it, and like they're just slowly dying because they're leech seeded poison. And you're just like, I can play stall in VGC now. Ha ha ha. I'm really bad. I'm horrible. All right, and this week's PUCL's Pokey Opinion. I like this better than Pokey Prediction.
Prediction, yeah.
This week was very turtle-centric. So what's your favorite turtle Pokemon? I'm going to quote the Aussie Crocodile from last week's mailbag, and I'm going to say this is a Blastoise household.
Okay, fair.
This is a Blastoise household.
I don't know. To be blasphemous, I don't really care much about any of the Gen 1 starters, and Squirtle is probably the one I feel the least about. I like Charizard. It gets like almost annoying at this point, and Venusaur like I have some mild affection for. So I look at the Blastoise, I'm like, you exist, I'm sure. I guess Turtonator, but it's not like a high bar.
Oh goodness, Turtonator's probably my least favorite. I guess actually my favorite is going to be Terrapagos.
It's not going to be Shuckle?
It looks very pretty. No, I like Shuckle, but it doesn't quite have the same flair.
Is it even a turtle? It's not a turtle. It's a worm in a rock.
I know, but it's
Is that what we're defining turtles as now?
I guess it's like the animal equivalent of, oh god, I'm going to terribly mispronounce that, Paradoilia?
Paradoilia, yes, you're correct. But like, yeah, it's a worm in a rock, but also it's like Pokemon are weird. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna throw human Earth taxonomy at like a very basic attack. Water gun violates all known laws of physics. I'm not here for the semantic dispute.
Look, it's a turtle the same way that a Mimikyu is a Pikachu.
I agree with that, actually. Yeah, we'll go.
You know? Sure.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for the news today. We are going to kick it on over now to our Poke Quiz, where we're going to quiz your co-host on their insane Pokemon knowledge.
Oh hi, and welcome to the Poke Quiz, the part of the show where we quiz our co-hosts on their insane Pokemon knowledge. I'm Mark from the Dunsparce Gang, here to explain the rules. Our fabulous co-hosts will work as a team to answer 5 Pokemon-themed trivia questions that fans have submitted on the Discord server. Each question is worth 1 point, with Pokedex and multiple answer questions worth more, for a total of 7 points. The host can use a free hint at any time. If they get all the answers correct and do not use the hint, they can cash it in for an 8th point.
Welcome to our Poke Quiz. Thank you for that introduction. Our first question today is going to come to you from Mimikyu, Agent of Chaos.
Nice.
Hi, Dennis.
Yep. What Pokemon, when it evolves, its base stat actually decreases?
It's base stat total, I would assume.
Base stat total. That's what I'm saying. Yes, my bad. I did not correctly say that. Yes, when this Pokemon evolves, its base stat total decreases.
It would have to lose.
Well, technically, is Shedinja like...
An
Does
evolution.
Shedinja go so, low that it goes below Ninkata having 1 HP?
Well, it
don't
also
think
has,
so.
like, no defenses because why would it? Would Shedinja count?
I don't know. Well, it's an
I
option.
believe its base HP is 1.
Well,
Yeah.
it's more like would it count as an evolution because it has the whole weird, like...
Yes, it would count as an evolution. It would count as an
I
evolution.
think
yes.
it's gotta be then, right? Because it's got, like, sub 250 base stats. Where...
Yeah, and Ninkata is, like, not good by far, but, 250 sounds about right for it. Maybe...
Sure. Shedinja to Ninkata then?
Ninkata to Ninjaski, I suppose.
Yes, that is correct.
Cool.
Ninkata's base stat total is 266, and Shedinja's is actually 236.
Nice.
It's because of that base 1 HP doing a lot of heavy lifting, but...
Yeah.
Or failing to
right.
lift, I guess.
Yeah. All right, this next question is a general trivia question. We are going to go ahead and we're going to ask you this question from Anhur. We haven't heard from them in a while. What move can be learned the most times via level up by a single Pokemon?
Sketch.
So the same move. Is that your final answer?
Yeah, that's right.
Sketch is correct.
Like, I'm sorry, but that's how that Pokemon works, though.
Yeah.
Sketch holds the record for being learned the most times via level up by a single Pokemon, being learned 10 times by Smeargle.
I would have totally forgotten that. Thank goodness you're here, Lynian.
All right. Well, our next question is going to come to you from, as your base stat question as always, and it's going to come to you from Fable Flygon. Its Pokemon Sapphire entry reads, if this Pokemon senses danger, it secretes a thick, sugary syrup from the tip of its head. There are some Pokemon that love eating this syrup. Who's that Pokemon?
I know this one, and I
Sapphire.
hate that I do.
Isn't it like Surskit?
It is Surskit.
Yeah.
This is a very strange entry, and I have it. I know this one because PTU gave it the lovely named ability Danger Syrup.
Oh my god, I love that.
That's amazing.
So yeah, we're gonna say Surskit final answer.
Surskit is correct. The second entry was going to be from Fire Red and Leaf Green, and it reads, they usually live on ponds, but after an evening shower, they may appear on puddles in towns.
Okay.
All right, well, you guys are 4 for 3 right now. This next question's worth up to 2 points for you. I am going to ask you, there are 4 answers here.
Mm-hmm.
And I am only going to need 2 of them. I'll give you a point for each of them.
Oh no.
Okay. This means it's hard.
Not a good sign. Not a good sign.
All right, this one is from Farmer Fox. Toxic is a lot less common on non-poison types this gen. What 4 non-poison types can learn Toxic in Generation 9?
Huh.
These are lines, by the way, not individual Pokemon.
Okay.
So there are some evolution lines in here.
Huh.
Well, can the Pokemon that Lynian loves so much learn it?
What?
Toadschool. Can it?
Are you locking that in?
No, I'm asking Lynian if he
I
knows.
have no idea.
It would make some kind of sense.
I'm not saying I don't understand. I'm just trying to think over other Pokemon that might get it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to say it. I mean, like, we need to start it somewhere. I'm just trying to even remember what Pokemon are in the game. I do know a mushroom that knows it. Just Breloom.
Oh, okay then.
Are you locking that in?
I'll lock in Breloom because I know that thing has it.
Breloom is correct.
Good job.
Is Vespiquen still in Scarlet Violet? Because it gets that via level up in pretty much every game, and that's like its whole shtick is being a defensive pressure staller. I don't know if they still let it keep Toxic.
I don't know.
I feel better
Nobody
about
uses
Toadschool, honestly.
Do you want to lock Toadschool and Toadscruel in?
I mean, we already got a mushroom, so like, what are the odds they didn't do it twice?
Like,
you know,
it's a Tentacruel, so
and it's got
based on status moves.
And it's got Mycelium Might. So I would
Yeah.
never know if it has good status moves because it doesn't want to use them. It's actively punished.
Yeah. Let's try that then.
All right. You're going with, what was it again? Toadscroll?
Yeah.
That is also correct.
Yay!
Yeah.
They both have it. So that gives you 2 points. There are two more that you're missing. Vespiquen was actually an answer.
Ooh.
And then also Whooper and Quagsire, because they're both in the game already.
Oh,
But-
yeah. Okay.
Sure. Okay. Fine.
So
They can have Whooper
essentially,
and
it's Mushroom, Wasp, and the two Pokemon who are related to poison types through convergent evolution or what's it called? Regional forms. That makes sense, actually.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys got that. You guys are 6 for 4. We're on your last question, which is your base stat question, as always. And we are going to go ahead and we're going to this. They're both from Snackard, so we're going to go with this one from Snackard.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you, what bug type Pokemon has the highest special attack?
So Young Mega has around 115. So there's got to be. Pheromosa has 131 or 137.
I think,
Vicavolt's got 140 or 145.
Ooh. Volcarona is 135, I think.
It's lower than Vicavolt. I know that much.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't think that that Frostmoth went over Volcarona. It might be lower, actually.
No, and I'm trying to think of anything in Gen 8 that's a bug type that would have that high of a special attack.
Robska doesn't seem like
No.
that high. No.
All of the bug types in this generation were like physical attackers,
Yeah, exactly.
and also kind of bad. Like for a couple of years, it's been like, yeah, you know, there's some real good bug types breaking the mold, and then this gen they went, actually no.
Yeah. So I know that like
I'm just going over none of the bug type. There aren't any bug type paradoxes. Oh, there are, but it's a physical
there is
attacker.
one, but it's a physical attacker. Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel good about Vicavolt at like 140.
Because it's like Pheromosa has 151, but in speed, right?
Yeah,
The
so it has
attack and special
131 or
attacker.
137. Those are the two primes. One of them's... Yeah, I just don't know. I think it's 131, and then 137 is Buzzwole's attack and defense.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it has to be Vicavolt then.
Unless I'm forgetting something, which is entirely possible, but Vicavolt, final answer?
I'm fine with
Vicavolt
that.
is correct.
Good
Yay.
job.
I heard Vicavolt final answer, so I just went with it.
Yeah.
All right, so that gives you guys the max 8 points today. Vicavolt has a base stat total of, or a base stat of 145 in special attack. Pheromosa is next with 137, followed up by Frostmoth with 125.
Okay. Where's Volcarona on that? I
don't know. I only was
Volcarona
provided
is
with those
above
3.
130.
I thought it was.
yeah, I think it's 130 or 135. Maybe I'm wrong.
Volcarona is. I thought it was higher.
Yeah.
We're gonna look. We're gonna look it up. Volcarona is 135. Yeah,
Okay.
so
See.
it should have been on that list.
I know my girl.
All right, so that gives you guys an 8-point lead or 8-point addition to your trivia scores, and that's gonna let Lynian reclaim the throne.
Yay.
Woohoo!
Oh, actually, it won't.
Oh.
Oh.
I wasn't paying attention. All right, in first place we have Whimsicott
What?
with 24. Yeah. In second place we have Lynian with 22. In third place we've got Shark Finnegan with 19. In fourth place we have Sublime with 17. Fifth place we've got Seth Bilo with 14. Jushiro in sixth with 13. Everybody's got different. It's hard. Tied for seventh, we've got Sigma and Basket with 12. In ninth, we've got Mark and Claude tied with 8. And in 11th, we've got Dr. Shamu with 5. It's a race to 40. Whoever gets there first wins bragging rights. All right. Until next time, guys, you can tune in next week. But we're going to kick it on over to the topic. we have another review. This one is going to be from Spartan THX 117. 5 stars, longtime listener. The first time I've ever written a review for a podcast. I first started listening to your podcast when driving to meet my girlfriend on the weekends, when neither of us had to work. Since then, we've moved in together and become engaged. The both of us have been playing Pokemon since we were kids, and we have both listened to your podcast when traveling or working around the house together. We may not score too well on the quiz part, but we always enjoy the topics and conversation between the host and guests. Keep doing what you're doing. Well, thank you for that, and congrats on the engagement. If you would like your review read on the show, leave one, and it might be read. Until then, guys, we're going to kick it on over to the topic. Welcome to the topic. Our topic today is going to be top 5 and bottom 5 grass types.
Yeah.
For those of you who haven't heard one of these episodes before, this is a part of the show where we go through and we try to make a list of our favorite and least favorite Pokemon of a certain type. And at the end, I think we should do like a 19th episode when we're done, just ranking Pokemon overall, and we take like Pokemon from our top and bottom lists.
Ooh.
Alternatively, ranking the types.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We can do both.
That's the 20th episode. That's the 20th episode, Lynian. Okay. Then we just start ranking like random things. But either way, we're on grass types now. We do have the other ones for you to listen to, so go check our back catalog. We are on grass this week, though, because it's spring. Things are getting nice. We can go through and... So I mentioned this like offhandedly, like grass types the other day, and then I was looking at it, and I'm having a hard time like picking bottoms again.
Same as us.
Yes, but for a very different reason.
Like a lot of these grass types are like, okay, so like it is actually it is very difficult to pick a bottom one. So I'll get things started where I'll propose a top one and a bottom one, and then of course we can discuss and we can decide whether or not we want to kick things out. Okay, so in the top for grass type, I think there's a couple very easy, like, slam dunks in terms of grass types. I think we have to like put Venusaur there because it's just OG. It's very like grass typey.
It's on the cover of one of the very first games.
Sure.
Yeah, and like
it has a cool mega.
What's wrong with it? Do you have issues with Venusaur? I mean, I guess you have that Gen 1 starter thing. I completely understand it.
I'm fond of it, I guess. I know for a fact, by the way, I'm about to be crucified by a very specific person. And yes, if you think it's you, it is you. I just think it's
a good way to like call out everybody named Greg, okay?
No, it's one guy named Reese. Like, it's fine. I just don't like how warty it is. Warty.
Okay, fair. It is. You know what? I can fix that.
Okay. How?
You can fix that? Okay, continue.
Yeah. Bulbasaur instead of Venusaur.
I can do this without any problems, actually.
Like, I'm okay with, like, the line. I could do this. I could do, like, the line. Like, I think the line is iconic. Like, grass type, Venusaur.
I'm very fond of Ivysaur because I love how well it was done in Smash. Like, not in a power level thing, but also for that. But, like, it feels real good in that. So I'll do the line.
So I actually like a lot of, like, the middle stage starters in general. I just think they're, like, really cool, like, teenage versions. I don't know, like they do a very good job in terms of starter design because your starters go with you on your whole journey. And, like, it kind of reflects you as a trainer growing to some extent. Like, oh, this is my little baby Pokemon because I'm a little baby trainer. Oh, this is, like, my teenage Pokemon because, like, I'm a little bit better now.
I like the middle stages a lot, but they are subject to some of the wildest swings in quality. For every Grovyle and Raboot, there is, like, a Quilladin or a Thwackey or a...
Yes.
There is a Quilladin.
Okay, no, Thwacky's amazing.
Thwackey, I'm not offended by Thwackey. I'm not offended by Thwackey. Quilladin, though, I am offended by. We could nominate that for the bottom, in all honesty, because I actually think Quilladin did such a disservice to that entire line. Like, I remember getting so hyped in 2013 and being like, wow, these 3 starters look amazing. Looking at Froakie, Fennekin, and Chespin and being like, wow, the 3 of these really look good. These are exactly what I think starter Pokemon should look like. Especially after Gen 5 and whatever Tepig was. But like seeing those and then we get the middle stage evolutions announced and we see Quilladin and I'm like, what is that?
A mistake.
Yeah.
Like Quilladin, like Chestnut, I'm okay with. I think Chestnut's fine. Quilladin is definitely like the awkward teenage years. And it did such a disservice to both Chespin and Chestnut.
What's baffling to me about it is that, like, we know all of the starters go through, like, 9 iterations, and they, like, so what were the other ones?
They stuck with that one.
Yeah.
How do they make that bad? Like, I am here with you, actually. I am here with you on this, Lynian. Okay, so we've got a top and we've got a bottom. I put Ivysaur on our list, but it can't. I think it's reflective of the whole line.
It's a middle ground to represent the entire line. I get it.
Yes. But Quilladin, I think, is that does not represent the whole line.
It does not at all. I really like Chespin and I really like Chestnut. Quilladin is
Yeah, but Quilladin needs to go to the bottom. I agree with this. Okay. So with that, I will allow somebody else to make suggestions now that I am done.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, guess.
I know. I'm not actually against it in this scenario, though. I'll be honest.
I don't disagree either, is the thing. And when they gave it fairy type, it got a lot more interesting and...
Exactly.
We mean Whimsicott, by the way. Because we never actually said it.
Yeah. It's literally my name on the show. I think people could get there.
Some people may, others may not. But so Whimsicott, I can actually agree putting there in the grass type episode, not in the fairy type episode, but in the grass type episode, yes.
Exactly, which is the reason I didn't propose it for the fairy type episode.
It should have been there in the flying type episode, but that's a completely different conversation.
See, exactly. That's part of why it's so cool. Like, it made you think it was a type that it wasn't, and then it gained a type that was unique for a while, and it's like, it has its own niche, and it's really cute, and it's not too overpowered, but it's not too much trash competitively because it has a niche, and it's just a really cool Pokemon in my opinion.
It seems like almost as much support play as Amoonguss. And I mean, to be fair, Amoonguss design wise, I'm just tired of it, and maybe that's just because it's overused. But that's a different story.
And Whimsicott has a spread of like interesting stuff, and like back in when Terrain was literally the entire format, it was running Nature Power, which was just really cool.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember that.
It was really great.
I remember Nature Power being, I'm Amber.
Look, it can do so many things. Like, it can annoy you to death with Subseed. It can be really great support with Tailwind and stuff, especially in VGC. Yeah. It can do a ton of different things which make it fun, but it doesn't get overwhelming with any of them. And it looks great. And it has one of the best shinies in the game.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm not fighting you on that. So what grass type are you gonna dunk on?
A bottom?
What's a bottom?
Okay, so just for how much of a sheer disappointment it was, Scovillain.
Okay, so like I thought about Scovillain as well as like a bottom nomination. I don't want to put it there because I think there's other worse offenders, and I think Scovillain gets saved by its fire typing.
That's the point. We've been waiting for a fire grass type for 25 years, and that is what you give us?
I've come around on it. I initially hated it, but now it's got enough goofy energy that I can deal.
Okay.
Honestly, with what Lynian said, I do absolutely agree. I think the energy is there. I honestly didn't want like a really, really good grass fire type because I feel like, I don't know, like that feels like a type combination that would be so popular that so many people would overuse it. If
you had asked me on launch of Scarlet and Violet, I would have agreed. I wouldn't have even blinked. But by now, I think it's kind of got... When it had the attack, it was like Yeehaw Blaster or something on a TCG card. I'm like, you know what? Actually...
And they didn't even translate it that way. Isn't that so upsetting?
It is. It's cruel. It's a cruel, cruel thing. But it's also not... It's like when I saw that, I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm gonna like you a little bit. Not a lot, but like, eh.
You know why I can forgive it? Because one of the heads is angry / sad, and the other is happy. So he's like the old mask of the drama comedy theater thingy. Yeah, fine. I forgive it.
All right. Well, Lynian.
I want to start with a bottom option. Now, I have a weird feeling that Thatch is about to say that I'm extremely wrong and that he loves this Pokemon dearly. I don't know why I have that vibe. But what is Tropius and why is it a thing? Why?
No, little banana boy.
I won't like disagree. The only thing I really dislike about Tropius recently is that like I feel the sizing they gave it in the wild in Scarlet and Violet
is very disappointing.
It's very disappointing. Yeah. I used to think it was like tall.
Oh yeah. It was one of those 3 shinies in 10 minutes and it was like, but you're so tiny. That's disappointing.
It is really small. Like
no, it's grass flying.
It's as tall as your player, I don't think. Lynian.
Well, okay. It does say that it's supposed to be like 6'7".
Yeah, but that's to the shoulder, so its neck should make it like, unless that's its length measurement, in which case that's just disappointing.
That is very disappointing. It's the wingspan, actually. Yeah, it's very, I don't want to put him in the bottom, but like I don't know that I can disagree.
I can disagree because he's banana boy.
I can disagree. It's sunk cost fallacy.
Okay, look.
I have a vote of apathy. That's kind of how I feel.
I think if Scovillain gets a pass for being goofy, then Tropius definitely should get one as well. It's a banana dinosaur, guys!
I mean, if you're gonna fight this hard, I'm not gonna vote against it.
We can put it on a shelf, and if we can't come up with 4 other good bottom grass types...
Sure.
That means I will produce a better Pokemon for this list then. And I think I'll actually have less resistance on putting this in the top. Let's talk about the better pine tree, Alolan Executor.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that has to be there, right? Like, it has to be there.
It's so funny. I agree. Honestly, it would be even funnier to put it on the top 5 dragon types list.
No, I think it's better as a grass type.
But it's not a dragon. No, I love it. It's probably my 2nd or 3rd favorite Pokemon of all time. I remember when they're like, "Hey, here are Alolan forms," and then you're like, "All right, what Pokemon are you going to introduce to sell me on this Executor?" All right, like that's a Pokemon I haven't thought very much about, and then they show what it turns into. I'm like, all right, perfection. We'll never top this.
Yes, literally, it's too tall.
Yes, actually, though.
Also, anytime they use it in, like, art or Pokemon Snap or the anime or whatever it is, it invariably works. It's a really good joke. When it was in Let's Go and I got to see it running around behind me, that was great. I loved that.
I especially love, like, when we saw it in the trailer and the trainer sent it out and the head was off screen. That was, like, the best thing ever.
All right. Yeah, I'm putting it there. It's done. We're in. All right. So we've got 3 in the top and 1 in the bottom. We gotta do better. Okay. So, I think there's an easy. There's a lot of easy shoo-ins. I think for top because it's top. It's top. I don't know. I don't want to do more starters because I really like a lot of the starters. On the bottom though, Zarude. I think Zarude is disappointing and shouldn't exist.
There are ones I don't like more, but I also have no strong... The only good things about Zarude were it was saved by having a decent movie.
I didn't watch the movie. Was it good? That's like the only Pokemon movie I haven't seen.
The movie's actually pretty good because, like, Zarude gets a lot of human conversation. It can't speak, but the boy in the movie can speak Zarude because he was raised by them. So whenever they're alone, it's just speaking English. And it has, like... real dad vibes. It's kind of great, but that's the only good thing I can say about it. It's being saved by a good movie doesn't always work. I'm sorry, you're no Entei. You don't have that kind of dad energy.
No. That's for sure. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. So I think for the top, I can think of a couple that aren't starters. But one that I really like. I think Breloom for top. I don't see why not.
Agreed. Actually, I really like Breloom.
It is. I think that was so when we were watching like the lead up to Scarlet and Violet. I think that Pokemon being announced, being back, was one of my like top 10 favorite things of all time.
One of your biggest relief moments.
Honestly, they did a really good job making Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet feel very different. Outside of the way that the gameplay is way better in Scarlet and Violet in terms of design, not performance. They made a good job of the worlds feeling different because of Dexit, where they made a very clear point of including Pokemon that weren't in Sword and Shield into Scarlet and Violet. Outside of Vespiquen, somebody really likes Vespiquen at Pokemon. Like, they're putting it in everything. Yeah, Breloom, I think, was the one I was most excited about.
Yeah, it's very unique. And it does things that nobody else does, even in competitive. But again, without getting overwhelming. So yeah, I like that.
Okay, Breloom for top. All right. Well, those are Thatch's.
Okay, I think we're all going to agree on my proposal for the top. Let's see if I'm right.
I hadn't considered this, but I don't disagree, but I don't think it's enough of a grass type.
I feel like we could go better.
Better than Kartana.
I feel like we could go better than Kartana.
I think my other proposals are a bit basic compared to Kartana.
Well, I mean, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Let's put a pin in Kartana.
Because I really like Kartana, but like, I don't feel like I can, in good conscience, call it a grass type. Or
like even top 5 grass type.
Wow.
You know, like.
Okay, I evidently love Kartana a lot more than other people.
Oh, I love it. I just don't feel like it's much of a grass type.
You see it more as a steel type.
Yes, which is weird because it doesn't get many good steel moves.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
does it get a lot of good grass moves outside of like Leaf Blade? It's got the same kind of coverage that with Steel in terms of Smart Strike.
It also has Razor Leaf, which was very relevant in doubles.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it was as relevant as you think it is, but I will digress.
I don't know. I think there's an argument to be made about the fact that Kartana's grass type is what makes it cool because it's paper, but then, you know, it's whatever. Okay.
I understand. Okay, what's your bottom?
My bottom. So this is where it starts to get. I will say there is a Pokemon in Gen 9 that I looked at and I thought, why do you exist? And that's Bramblegast.
Yep, I'm behind you. As soon as you said that, I agree with you, actually. I don't believe Bramblegast and Bramblin deserve existence.
I actually like Bramblin as a concept because, you know, tumbleweeds. It's cool that it's, you know, grass ghost type.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fight real hard. I do like these Pokemon. Their stat distribution murdered them. It strangled them in the crib.
I don't even know their stats. I just looked at them.
They're physical attackers with just awful jank move pools. It doesn't even get like Shadow Claw. You have to run Phantom Force or Shadow Sneak. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fight you, but I am sad because I actually really like them. I like how they're animated, but also I get it.
Exactly. I have like a fondness for them, but I would have liked, like, the reason I said Bramblegast and not Bramblin.
I think they fell short.
Exactly. Is if Bramblin had evolved into something a little more complex as a design, it would have been better.
Instead of more tumbleweed?
It's exactly just a bigger tumbleweed, and that's disappointing. I would also, like, say something...
I feel the same way about Bramblegast that I feel about Palmot.
But Palmot is so cute. I don't mind.
Okay, we both had very different reactions to that, it appears.
Exactly.
I feel like I'm in the middle there. I think Palmot is awful. Also, is it pronounced Palmot, or is it just Palmo again, but with a T? And it's silent.
I don't know. It's even more stupid if the T is silent.
Yes, and that would upset me very much so.
I don't think it's silent because it's not French.
I also hate its evolution method. I think it's dumb.
Yeah.
For Bramblin, exactly. Yes.
For Bramblegast, it makes sense. It does not make sense for Palmo. Palmo makes no sense to me.
It's just that they wanted you to keep the Pikachu by your side outside of the Pokeball, which I don't agree with.
The other two Pokemon it makes no sense for. For specifically Bramblegast, I think it's actually ingenious given how tumbleweeds reproduce.
I actually think it works well enough for Rabsco.
If CPG Gray listens to our show, he's gonna hate us, but that's okay.
No, he's gonna be like, yeah, anything to take down the Tumble Lords. That's the trouble with Tumbles.
Oh, then perfect. I hope he listens to our show. Let's move on. All right. Who's next?
It's me. I've got a Pokemon for bottom that I don't. It's a Pokemon I feel absolutely nothing for. Jumpluff is stupid.
No.
Okay. So, like, I was going to do it, but with who is on the show, I knew we were going to get resistance, Lynian.
Look, I know it's a
I'm glad that you're brave enough to say it.
It's a completely useless ball of fluff, but it's so cute. It's really, 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 really cute. And the English names are brilliant. The colors are amazing. The shinies are really nice.
Okay, so if you play, this is so dumb. This is going to be a really dumb sentence. So if you play Gym Leader Challenge in the TCG, which is a format that exists, there is a good grass deck where you use a Jumpluff line because the Rapid Strike Jumpluff can actually do a lot of damage and get you 2 prize turns in a single prize format. And it's like kind of fun. But I'm not going to put it in top.
The only thing that I have that's deep that I can say that's not mean to Jumpluff is the green Pikachu bits in Dogs in Love, a very good video you should all watch. Had me in stitches, but that's because those guys are expert improv comedians and nothing to do with Jumpluff. I will send you the link because you will be obsessing over it.
Thank you.
What's your top, Lynian? What's your top? Because we're not going to be able to push this through.
All right. This isn't going to go through. I just need to say how much I love this Pokemon. Wo-Chien is great, and I will be accepting no criticism at this time.
Yeah, no.
I don't disagree with you, but I'm not going to put it in top.
I love how it's a bunch of leaves that have become a snail. I like how the shell is formed. No one agrees with me.
I don't know why anybody was upset at it.
People like the other ones are way more interesting. I'm like, not really.
I don't agree with that actually, because like you look at Chi-Yu, they're like these are the beads of ruin. I'm like, that's a goldfish.
But it's a really cute goldfish, Thatch, and it's a fish made of fire.
I like Chi-Yu, but it's fine. It's fine. I have no strong feelings.
It's Tinglu that I can't stand.
I think Wo-Chien is as interesting, or if not more, than Chi-Yu.
Wo-Chien is someone who understood the assignment. They're like, take this and make an unusual and unexpected animal out of it. And they went, great, I'll turn this into a snail shell. I would never have come up with that. Yes.
I think Tinglu is boring.
Tinglu is super boring.
I believe that Qian Pao was made by a teenage boy that makes those S's in class.
Yes.
You know the ones I'm talking about?
As a quartet, they are the best legendaries that we've had in literally probably since like Gen 3. I love them.
Actually, I'm not going to entirely disagree. Like, they're very strong. Like, I think, like, Tapus were good. I think they were on theme and they understood the assignment. I just think the assignment was not as good as these.
I think the Tapus are amazing, but they were too much like each other. And I love that these ones are so different.
This is episode 21 of the series, Lynian, is where we rank...
Legendary groups, okay.
Legendary groups. That's what we do. Okay. Moving on. I guess it's back to me. We've made a lot of not progress. We're checking Pokemon off the list, that's for sure. So this is one of my favorites, and I don't know if you guys would agree with me for the top 5, but I really like it. I really like Abomasnow.
No.
I figured you would disagree. I just like it. I like the type combination. I think it's cute. Actually, for Sword and Shield, I went out of my... Like, I typically use all new Pokemon in a new playthrough. Except in Sword and Shield, I went out and I found a Snover. Because you could catch a low-level Snover. And I was like, I'm going through the game with this boy.
Okay.
And I did. I had a good time. Okay, so my favorite doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Okay, so on this list, there's one Pokemon that is very easy to be like, yeah, doesn't need to be here. And I'm going to say the Grass-type Wormadam, just so we can get something on the list.
Oh, wow. I would make a joke about that being low-hanging fruit because of how it appears.
That's a better joke than I expected, I'm not gonna lie. I just think it's a bad Pokemon, but the most rational form of Burmy, but also it's Wormadam. Who are we going to upset?
Yes.
But also it's Wormadam. Yeah.
Nobody. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, Simisage is like a very good dunk too, but
I actually like Simisage. Like, I don't love it, but it's like, you're the best of the monkeys.
I actually, of the three, Simisage and Pansage are the best.
Exactly. That's what saved them from going on my list. I was like, yeah, it's the monkeys, but it's the best of the monkeys. So
It is the best of the monkeys. His name is Davy Jones.
I couldn't think of a member of the monkeys fast enough to make the joke.
Mickey Dolenz, Davy Jones, Peter Tork.
And that is the last I will think about the monkeys for the next 3 years.
You're talking to Thatch about 60s and 70s bands. Like, come on.
Who's the, oh my gosh, he just died. Michael Nesmith.
Yeah, I'm okay with putting it there just so that we can get something done.
Wormadam, grass, you're dead. You're gone. Okay, so now we need a favorite and a bottom. What you got?
I don't know if you guys are going to like this, but Blossom? I know it's useless.
No.
I'm like not against it, but I think Blossom would have made a bigger impact on me. I hate Blossom for a couple of reasons. Not because it's a bad looking, like the design's very good. I think it's a very interesting new Pokemon they added in Gen 2. I really just like its legacy in Generation 3, where you have to like trade a Corsola, which you can only get like one of, to get the Sunstone or something. Or no, you have to trade your one Blossom away to get a Corsola, and that's the only way to get the Corsola.
You know what? It's fine. I've thought of something better, and I will tell you if we get to the next round.
And what's your bottom? What's your bottom pick?
Bottom is, I think, Carnivine.
Actually, yes. Legends Arceus ruined Carnivine for me.
You know, I used to like it more, and then I think Thatch is right. I think it was literally ruined by PLA.
Yeah, I can't stand it anymore.
PLA, like, I wanted to say Paris earlier as, like, a potential, but then, like, PLA saved Paris.
But they're actually cool.
No.
Yeah, PLA, like, saved Paris. But it's, like, but PLA, like, ruined Carnivine, because the PLA is a great game, and I think we should get another Legends game just like it. I'd love to see that continue. I think the problem that PLA had was that its Pokédex, like, I understand that they want to keep Pokédexes small in these types of games, and I understand why. I think the problem with PLA
well, and they didn't want to answer questions of, like, where did 90% of the Pokemon go over 100 years? Because that just gets sad.
The only problem that I really had with that was that the Pokédex was so small that it got really repetitive after a while. Like, Ghastly, oh my gosh. Stop showing me Drifloon and Ghastly at night. Like, that was awful. But I think even then, Carnivine's part of the problem.
The aggressive Luxray swarms, just...
Yeah, I think that was my only problem. Like, I think if we get another Legends game, I would love to see the Pokédex go from, like, 240 to 300. Or even if, as long as we're not doing, you know, Gen 4, the one that had, like, the most legendary Pokemon that they had to include all of. Because, like, out of that 240, I think, like, 20 of them are legendaries.
You know, if we did a Let's Go game for Gen 6, that would be real good. Because you've got a massive dex, throw a couple of regionals in there, and you're cooking with gas. That could be really good.
I agree with that.
Yeah, no objections.
Yeah.
But who do we say? Carnivine? Carnivine on the bottom. I'm there. All right. Lynian, you can try to overthrow one of the bottoms if you want, but we just need a top.
No, the only thing that I have on the list that I think might is just, man, Eldegoss was nothing.
I don't disagree with you. It is an inferior Whimsicott.
And an inferior Jumpluff.
I don't agree with that, but I won't.
Yes.
But I don't think we're gonna. I think we just need a top one. So.
Yeah.
Like, Decidueye was really cool, right?
I mean, we could replace Wormadam with it, but Decidueye was really cool. You're not wrong.
Yeah, it was really cool.
He was a grass ghost, which was really cool. I remember when I saw that, I had that moment of, oh, they stuck the landing. Rowlet was really good. Decidueye is awesome. And it uses its little drawstring for the hoodie as an archery thing. That's really cool. It was my favorite grass-type starter until Meowscarada, but I don't, like, I think on strongest actual, like, I think Decidueye is a better design in general. Meowscarada just personally appeals to me more.
Fair.
Yes, I agree with that statement, actually. Very much so. I'll put Decidueye there. I'll vote for that. I can get behind it.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Because everything else I was thinking of is too basic.
I'm also okay with replacing Wormadam grass with Eldegoss, just so it's like a more definitively grass type.
You know what? Yeah.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
I think Eldegoss is like, they're just like, hey, what if we had a Cotton Puff Pokemon? Then we're like, haven't you already done that before? They're just like, yeah, but we were just cheating off our old home.
No, that was a dandelion and that was a sheep. So actually this is original.
So...
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, you have the cotton and you have the dandelion already. So, like, Eldegoss is super cute, but meh.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It's okay. All right, so we've got a list then.
Ooh, we made it.
Does anybody want to fight with the list?
No. I mean, there is one grass-type Pokemon that I think is incredibly cool.
Which one's that?
But Lynian's here.
What does that mean?
What is it?
Toadstool little feetsies are gonna have to stay in the box.
What is it?
What is it?
Toadstool little feetsies are gonna have to stay in the box.
Okay, yeah, no, we're not doing that. No, bye, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, though, like, I would get behind that. But yeah, Lynian's here, so it's not going to work. All right. So, in our top 5, for those of you at home, we've got the Bulbasaur line. We've got Whimsicott, Alolan Executor, Breloom, and Decidueye. In the bottom 5, we have Quilladin and Quilladin alone. Zarude, Bramblegast, Eldegoss, and Carnivine.
We have a bottom 1 and then a bottom 4.
Poor Quilladin.
Yes. And Quilladin is hot garbage. He was such a disappointment. All right. So if you guys have a different list, please let us know at puclpodcast@gmail.com. Last week, we'd love to know. And I love gathering the statistics. I think it's always really cool to see how you all have different things. But until then, guys, we're going to kick it on over to our Pokemon of the episode. We will catch you all on the flip-flop.
Poke of the episode.
Welcome to our Pokemon of the episode. Our Pokemon of the episode this week is National X number 658, Greninja, the Ninja Pokemon.
Its Pokemon Omega Ruby Dex entry states, it creates throwing stars out of compressed water. When it spins them and throws them at high speed, these stars can split metal in 2.
Yeah.
Wow. That's Greninja. Greninja's a Pokemon, and it's back, baby.
I love him so much.
Base 530, with its Protean ability that has been nerfed, because Protean now only activates once per battle, or once per time the Pokemon's in. I like that better. It makes life so much better. I believe that all of those abilities were bad the way they instituted them, unless it was like, oh, this is Kecleon's hidden ability. Yeah, because it's a Kecleon.
It's less fun, but more balanced. I'll give you that.
Yes. All right, but Greninja, it's got decent base stats, which makes it good all the time. Base 72 HP, base 895 attack, base 67 defense, 103 special attack, 71 special defense, and 122 speed. So that 122 speed makes it go burr, but I believe they made Meowscarada 123.
I think so, yes.
Just to outspeed this boy.
Because the new model has to be better.
Not really. I think they just did it to, like...
I think they just did it because they couldn't give it very high of an attack stat, given that they were giving it Wicked Blow. And so the stats had to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes. I definitely... Well, yeah. All right. But yeah, I mean, Greninja's good Pokemon. Yeah, I mean, with Protean, he can turn into different types, and he does actually get pretty decent coverage to change it.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the original Protean problem.
Yeah.
He was the original Protean problem. I mean, you look at the moves he can learn. He's got Extrasensory, so that's Psychic. Shadow Sneak, that's Ghost. He can learn Ice Beam, which is Ice, so we've already added 3 types. This is without Terrestrialization.
Yeah.
We've got Brick Break, that's Fighting, U-Turn, that's Bug. We've got Grass Knot for Grass. We've got Rock Slide for Rock.
Spikes for Ground, which is really cool if you are about to get hit with an electric.
Yeah, I was going to say, the Spikes and T-Spikes were also really, having both, made this thing a nasty suicide lead as well.
Yep.
It was one of those Pokemon where it kind of always had something that would make it great in this situation, which not an ideal situation to have.
Yes.
It works well enough that you can run it like physical, special, mixed, hazards. It's it's a lot.
That was because of Battle Bond and Protean, so you didn't know which way it was going to just kill you.
Mm-mm. Unless someone was, good enough to bring a shiny, because
Yes.
that one couldn't be Battle Bond.
Yep. All right. But yeah, let's go take a look then, and we're going to take a look at a team. We've got a Gen 9 OU team. It's been a while since I've played actual OU. But this team is, it actually looks like it has decent synergy, and it's a fun time. We do have Greninja, obviously, on this team. It's holding choice specs. It's got Protean because Torrent is awful compared to that. 252 special attack, 252 speed, timid nature. We've got Hydro Pump, Dark Pulse, Spikes, and Ice Beam. We are holding choice specs. So this is probably meant to just lead into Greninja, try to set up a couple layers of Spikes, and then bounce out, and then be Greninja the rest of the game. And hit one or two things very hard.
I mean, you do have a really good pivot in the back, so sometimes you just get a free Spikes turn sometimes. So
yes, that does happen a lot. You also have Clodsire on here with heavy duty boots. He's got Water Absorb. I love that Clodsire still has Water Absorb. I love that. I love that. His Terra type is Dark. 248 HP. Now it's 248 because that does hit certain numbers on leftovers and also toxic / in hazards. That makes a difference.
Leech Seed's the big one for this guy.
8 defense, 252 special defense. He's a bulky boy. Careful nature. Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Toxic, and Recover. As we learned, not many non-poison type Pokemon have Toxic this gen, so
yep.
So it's a big deal for Clodsire to come in and help stall some stuff out. I will let somebody else go now.
Lynian, go ahead.
So, we've got the string cheese terror himself, Golden Go, holding a covert cloak, which I believe, is that the one that gives you the no secondary effects?
Yes, so it prevents you from getting frozen or getting flinched or...
which is, I guess... good only for some things because it already has good as gold as an ability?
Well, no, because Covert Cloak only blocks you from secondary effects of moves. So you can't get Thunder Waved, but you can get Nuzzled. This means you can't get Nuzzled.
You also can't get knocked off either.
Yeah, which actually is a bad thing, because then it just still keeps dealing bonus damage to you because you're having a held item. So that's actually a weakness of the item. But other than that, it prevents secondary impact things. It doesn't stop your own, so your Make It Rains will still drop your own stats as far as I'm aware.
But Mystical Fire won't.
Yeah, Mystical Fire won't do anything to your special attack, etc., etc. This Pokemon is just, you don't get to interact with me, the Mon. Golden Go has Hexproof. Shadow Ball, Make It Rain, Recover, and Nasty Plot are its moves. It's got 252 special attack, 4 special defense, 252 speed. Click buttons, kill things. It's not exactly complicated.
Nice.
And then we've got the king of It's Not Exactly Complicated, Great Tusk, with some lefties.
That's so true, though. It's like, I remember having, suicide leads back in the day, and Great Tusk does 2 things, and you know what that thing is, probably.
And this one actually has a somewhat unorthodox spread with 252 HP, 208 defense, 4 special defense, 44 speed with Terra Water, Terra Flying on the Golden Go. It's got an impish nature. It's got Earthquake, Body Press for that defense-based damage, Knock Off, and Rapid Spin. So it's here to spin, and if Golden Go comes in, make Golden Go's life really hard.
Yeah. And I promised you a pivot earlier, and that pivot is Corviknight. It's holding leftovers, the ability is pressure. The Terra type is flying because maybe you just want the brave bird to hit harder, or you want to not be weak to fire type moves. I don't know.
They usually do that for Pokemon that are like definitely not your Terra targets.
Exactly. Like, it's there. You're never gonna click it.
Exactly.
Whatever. So, the EVs are again 248 HP because it's holding leftovers and it wants to do leftover things and the hazards and all that because it's not holding boots. Max defense and 8 special defense with an impish nature. It's like a mirror of the Clodsire, stats-wise. It's got Brave Bird, U-turn, which, again, great pivot, Roost, and Body Press, because that's gonna hit hard with the defense it has. And then finally, my very favorite Paradox Pokemon from Violet, maybe overall, we have Iron Valiant. Holding a Choice Scarf, the ability is obviously Quark Drive. The Terra type is Fairy. And the EVs are Max Speed, Max Special Attack, 4 defense with a timid nature because you want to go really, 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 really fast on this one. And the attacks are Moonblast, Psyshock, Trick, and Thunderbolt. I love Trick on this thing. Like, there's a wall I can't get past. Disabled it. I still go really, really fast. But now that wall is not bothering me anymore.
It's very true. Yeah, this is looks like a decent team. I haven't played with it yet. I try to play with the teams every week, but I did not get to this one. So yeah, definitely try it out. It'll be on the Discord server, and if you're a patron, you can get the shiny versions of everything that's not Iron Valiant or Great Tusk or Golden Go. But
no, Iron Valiant and Great Tusk.
Never mind.
Do.
Never mind. You can. It's
Why
just
not?
Golden Go. I'm a dummy.
Yeah.
Yes, you can do that. All right. Well, until then, guys, we are going to kick it on over to our mailbag.
It's mail time! Send in your emails! Mail!
Welcome to the mailbag. Our mailbag is where you can send us an email at puclpodcast@gmail.com and we might read it on the show. Last week, we asked you guys what you would like to see from the DLC, and a couple of you responded. So I'm looking forward to getting to those and sharing them with the community. Of course, this segment, as always, is brought to you by Green Tauros, the energy drink that gives you hooves.
Hooves.
And if it's a great email, we'll give you a Green Tauros badge on the server. So until then, let's jump right into our first email. It's going to be from Foxy. I believe Whimsicott's got this one.
I do. Hey, Poco crew. Foxy here again because I just can't resist theory crafting. I have already started making a connection with what we currently know about the in-game story and the DLC, specifically the Indigo Disc. And I am surprised that not as many people have picked up on it yet. With that said, let's jump into it. Okay, now I'm excited.
He's DeFranco'd us.
I am going to be talking about what is ultimately the most interesting area of the game, Area Zero. One thing that I do not think gets much discussion is that when reading the Area Zero journals, we learn that Turo/Sada were not working alone. In fact, early on, it says that they had a small team with them. A team that gradually shrank from either funding cuts or the last person leaving due to the professor's delusions as they became more intensely involved with their research. To hone in on this last person, when playing Violet, Turo's fourth journal begins with, "I need more people, more time." That woman walked out not long after the boy was born. At first I did not think too much of this, but it really struck me when my girlfriend, who was playing Scarlet, got to the same place and the same journal has one change. There, Sada's journal reads, "I need more people, more time." That man walked out not long after the boy was born. Although it's only one word, knowing the differences between the two games, given that Turo's last assistant was a woman and Sada's was a man, I think that in each case they are referring to the opposite version's professor.
I am hoping we get the other one in the DLC.
I mean, maybe. I just think that wasn't even about the assistant. I think that was just about the other parent.
No, it was about their partner.
I really like the theory though that they were married. I like that theory though.
So the thing is, I think it's beautiful how they handled it. I would like to know if it's the same in the Japanese version.
It is, But I mean, we do know that both parents are canonically very cool with leaving Arvin. Like, we do know that that's something they have in common.
Exactly.
So maybe it's not that unreasonable.
Like, so for sure.
Yes. Could you imagine, like, just, like, glimpsing over that fact, like, in the DLC? Like, Turo/Sada comes back like the other one, and they're just like, oh, hey, son, but let me help this other child.
I think once again here, they wrote the Scarlet story first. Because it's a lot more common to have a father walk out on a newborn than to have a mother walk out on a newborn. But I think this is, like, really interesting because they made everyone in that family look similar enough that, you know, Arvin looks like both of them. So anyone could be the other parent. But if they are both the parents, you know, yeah, that, and if, like, it would make sense for someone who is as much of a workaholic as Sada and Turo are to, like, have a baby with someone who works with them. So maybe Foxy is right and we are right. And the assistant was also the partner and the other parent. And okay, let's keep going with the email.
Continue, please. Continue, please.
Is yes. So, but that begs the question of why we never hear or see more of them in the main story. After all, where could they have disappeared to? If we look at the timeline, the work on Area Zero started 10 years prior to the story, with everything that transpired having an uncertain exact date other than somewhere in that time frame. I think actually the 10 years is where they, like, made the Terra Orb, so they might have been there longer. I think they were there longer.
Yes, 10 years was when they did that.
So they actually had to have been there earlier because they're like, yeah, we've been working for years and produced this.
Exactly. And also, I like...
Oh man, as a scientist, that kind of, like, hits home. Like, hey, we made something useful. Please keep funding me.
If the assistant left somewhere around the middle or back half of that time, we could say that it was relatively recent. So where did they go? No, now you've lost us. The person who left is Arvin's other parent. And they left just after Arvin was born.
Which was at least, I mean, Arvin is at least 10 for the Pokemon universe. 10 is everything, math. But...
Arvin is at least 15. Like,
I think they might have given him an age. Let me double check.
Did they?
I don't think they did, because it's vague, because he's, like, around your age. I know Nimona is canonically older than us.
I think Arvin is also older.
Yes. I think Arvin is also older.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, yeah, we're working with a Japanese product, so because of how their language is structured, we know relative ages a lot more than we know anything else.
Yeah, fair enough, yes. But, I mean, that kind of gets messed up when you get into a school setting.
Well, it's seniority in the age, but yes, it's rough, but it exists.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the email says, well, we know that there was another academy that was funded relatively recently that would likely have been looking for more professors at this time. Piecing it together, I am calling it now. When we visit the Blueberry Academy in the Indigo Disc, we are going to bump into the opposite version's professor and uncover the fact that they would have worked with our version's professor, making them the only person who could likely tell us more about what was happening in Area Zero. With this, everyone asking how this new academy has anything to do with Area Zero suddenly have their answer as well. I can even see them taking it a step further and confirming that the other professor is Arvin's other parent in each version as well. The timeline got a little wobbly on this reasoning, but most of it still holds up.
I think that the other parent could be the other professor. Like that is a good theory.
Okay, my only objection to this is they look a lot alike. That's kind of weird. But anyway.
It is what it is.
Have you seen cartoons since, like, 1960 where the parents are, like, nearly identical versions of the child? It's like, yeah, okay, this is just... We're just short-coding that's an entire family.
No, they look... They look...
No, I know. I'm saying that is just kind of something that happens, particularly in animation, is the entire family looks almost identical, including the parents to each other. It wouldn't be anything...
Okay, I see.
There's no necessary implication.
I see what you mean. Okay. No, it's not like the implications. It would be like, boring. Okay, sticking to Area Zero, I have one more theory to share about the origins of the Paradox Pokemon. I do subscribe in part to imagination being a part of it, but I think that the full story is a little more involved. I do think that the Paradox Pokemon are being pulled from some kind of physical location/reality for 3 reasons. Wait, there's a theory that they're pulled from the...
How have you missed this?
I haven't heard this one.
Yeah. Okay. Where have you been?
I have been in other fandoms recently.
Okay, we will have to talk about this later.
Yes.
Yes.
One, the Pokeballs sent through the time machine do appear to be going somewhere and returning. There is a line about tracing the coordinates of the Pokemon to know where to send and pull the Pokeballs back from. Second, is that the whole creating life out of nothing feels a little weird. Even artificial Pokemon originate from some kind of physical matter or cells. Third, I don't want to traumatize Arven anymore. Seriously?
No, that's the game's pastime. It wasn't enough to give him just the mother of all parent issues. No. We also had to go after his dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Seriously, imagine taking some kind of solace in knowing that some representation or remnant of your dead parent got to go out and live the adventure they always wanted, only to find out that your robo-dad just yeeted himself into non-existence. So, where am I going with this? I want to point out one change that happened in the Pokemon metadata. Oh. Both the mainline games and Pokemon Home have different classification identifiers that are attached to each Pokemon. Previously, the Ultra Beasts had the sub-legendary ID, but with the release of Scarlet and Violet, that was actually changed to one that roughly says Pokemon Common in Another World. Interestingly, the Paradox Pokemon that you can get an unlimited number of were also given this identifier. I think that the power of Terapagos that Hit would have encountered and would later be harnessed in the Zero Lab has to do with using the multiverse for wish fulfillment.
Oh no.
That is to say, when it learns about the people's imagination of what Pokemon might have looked like in the past/future, rather than creating them out of nothingness, it finds a parallel universe in which life evolved differently than our own, in which something looks similar to what was imagined. This was going to be exactly where I would have gone before reading the second half of this paragraph, which, yeah, like...
Oh no, it's the TikTok reality shifter people. No, we can't give them anything. No!
Oh.
I only have a vague idea of what you're talking about, but I feel the same way as you do. No, I actually think, no, it's cool. Like, okay, it is, like, because pulling from the past or future of your timeline is somehow a little harder than pulling from a parallel timeline that is maybe disaligned from your own, temporally speaking. Maybe Thatch will correct me on this one. Okay, cool. Thatch, does what I said make any sort of sense? You're the physicist here.
Yes, I kind of understand, but it also doesn't matter because time travel's not real.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, you can't travel through time. You can, however, go to Super Nebraska, a place where time has just, kind of been off to the side a little bit.
As long as we're trying to pick out the most plausible of impossible things.
I think that we're just doing something imaginative, and we're gonna find out that the professor accidentally created Paradox Pokemon. Like, that's all I'm saying. That's all I want. Okay,
that would actually make the Violet story really cool, though.
Well, no, they didn't physically make them.
No, I mean, okay, so if you make Violet into a time loop, because it makes sense to pull things from the past, and the Scarlet Pokemon makes sense, but the Violet, I think I like the way they handled them, okay? The Violet Pokemon, to me, are dumb. But if you make it so that it's a recursive thing, in which essentially Turo pulled them out, and then he ended up in the future and he was the one who created them, thus making them make sense in the loop, at least, I would like that better.
It's fine. All right, let's finish the email, though.
The Pokemon could be a paradox in our own universe, but could still make sense within its own world, making sense of the id of common in another world. This could also explain why none of the Pokemon in the Scarlet Violet book are perfectly accurate to their actual appearance. The power of Terapagos is only finding the closest thing that looks like that imagined Pokemon, whereas if it was purely imagination, you would think the resulting Pokemon would resemble the sketch more closely. It is not like Pokemon hasn't opened the multiverse book already, be it with Ultra Space or even the Aura's postgame, where when a line references sending the meteor to another universe, only to be shut down because other people could be living there, somehow hinting at the existence of the original Ruby and Sapphire in a different universe. I did want to toss in one final tiny speculation on how Terrapagos will work in battle. I think it is going to have a set type normally, but will have every Terra type. Normally, when you push the button to terrestrialize a Pokemon, that type is shown, and if you press the button again without selecting a move, it will unselect the terrestrialization. I think with Terrapagos, when you press the button again, it will continue to rotate through all of the types with each press until you finally select a move with one.
I think that's not how they would do the UI on that, but yeah, I don't think that's actually unrealistic.
Yes.
That's not how the UI would work, but that's the only objection I have. I think it's a cool theory.
That UI would be bad UI, in all honesty.
Having something do one thing most of the time, and in one instance not solid design. Granted, I could see Pokemon making bad UI, so... True. Okay, fair. Never mind. I retract objection rejected.
Well, Foxy concludes with, I think that covers all my thoughts. I hope it gave you all some cool ideas and discussion. It definitely did. I can say for a fact I am really excited to see where the DLC goes. Take care, Foxy. This was a big one and a cool one.
All right. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, probably the Green Taurus badge right there. We do have one last email from Sleeve. Hi, everybody. I hope you're having a lovely spring and that the long wait for the first DLC in autumn isn't too painful.
We have Tears of the Kingdom. We'll be fine.
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom is coming. I have a wish list for the DLC that's full of all sorts of stuff, but I'll only mention a couple bits here. 1. New moves. Like the move tutor in Isle of Armor, I expect new moves to be introduced in the first DLC drop. I really want to see moves that interact with each other when used in VGC. There was a discussion in Discord the other day about the pledge moves, and I want to see more inspiration drawn from them and more of that interactivity to mix up VGC a bit.
But they were bad.
I think
they were bad.
The pledge moves are bad, and they should feel bad. And 2, cheap vitamins. They could just give us the vending machine with the bulk buy option again, and I'd be happy. We do actually have that, though. You can just, go buy them right now.
It's not that. It's you got discounts.
Oh, I mean, if you want discounts, sure.
If you bought, 30 vitamins or what, you could bulk buy them at cheaper prices, which is not a thing in the new game.
So Sleeve just wants to go to Costco. I understand. That was just a nice quality of life update in Isle of Armor that I'd like to see back. Anything that speeds up the cycle time of building competitive Pokemon is good by me.
Fair enough.
3, a way to catch past mythicals. I never got Meloetta. I want to get Meloetta.
Skill
just
issue.
Released the shiny version of Victini already. I think that this is more likely to come in the second DLC than the first, but still worth a mention. A mythical drop, maybe in a 7-star raid event when the DLC drops. I don't think this is super likely, but it'd be a better way to release new mythicals than just a serial code that runs for a month. Oh, I literally said this earlier today.
Yeah.
Actually, but yeah, that is true. Anyway, these are my top wishes for the DLC. Now I'll just get back to waiting for autumn. Peace and love, Sleeve. I just imagine Sleeve is that meme of the guy just waiting by the pool with his hands behind his back, staring off into space until autumn.
I just imagine Sleeve just going about his day very normally, and then he sees it's a top type episode, glances over his computer where PowerPoint's open, and just sighs there's my week.
Yeah. But no, it is a top type episode. So if you do want to email us next week at puclpodcast@gmail.com, let us know your favorite and least favorite grass types. We'd love to know. We're going to gather some data, and the Discord Sleeve actually makes these really cool presentations, and we get some really cool statistics. I really love it. Hopefully he doesn't hate me for making them.
I will say right now, though, if you say Whimsicott is your worst grass type, at least give us a motivation, please.
She just wants to talk.
No, honestly, I realize that, yeah, but no, just tell me why. What am I doing wrong? What have I done?
Also, Foxy 100% gets the Green Taurus badge this episode. But of course, if you want to keep up with us throughout the week, the best ways to do so is to come to our Discord at puclpodcast.com. You can, of course, also find us over on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Additionally, if you want to watch us stream, I've been trying to stream more consistently on Wednesdays over at youtube.com/puclpodcast. Outside of that, though, if you want to help support the show, there's a couple ways you can do so. First of all, you can go ahead and check out our Patreon at patreon.com/puclpodcast. Actually, we're going to be doing a get together and playing Jackbox with a bunch of you this Friday, April 28th, at 7:30 p.m. EST to like 9:30 p.m. EST, maybe longer, depending on how it goes. So definitely jump into that if you are interested. That's going to be over on our Discord. And then, of course, you can support the show if you also want to get into TCG products like Thatch has, unfortunately. You can go to trollandtoad.com and use code PucklePod5 for 5% off, and we get a little bit of kickback if you do that. It's a great way to support the show if you're already buying TCG product. But on that note, I guess I have been Trainer Thatch.
I have been the Fluffiest Whimsicott.
And I've been Lynian.
And here in the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's closing time.